These are the 30 best free Quest 3 games that you have to play. Starting with Population 1. This game wasn't free before, but now you can get it without spending a dime, making it also one of the most popular battle royale shooters on any VR headset, where you can do some crazy things like climb anything on the map or just stretch out your arms to fly across it. And with their many different options like the sandbox and multiplayer modes, as well as its custom maps, it is clear to see why this is a must play for any Quest 3 user. But if you like your action even more high paced, then the second game named Hyperdash might be the multiplayer shooter for you. Here you will have to sprint and rail grind around while trying your best to survive. And thanks to its crossplay function, you can also take on Steam VR users or even others that are using a Quest headset. Do keep in mind that this fast motion isn't for everybody, so if you're completely new to VR, it might be better to start with a slower title. For example, number 3 being Gym Class Basketball. This is the perfect solution if you want to play a sports game inside virtual reality, even so much that you can shoot some hoops and dunk like you probably wouldn't be able to do on a physical court. And with its built-in full body kinematics, it makes the gameplay also look pretty convincing, and adding in the online multiplayer makes it pretty much the best basketball game for VR. And on number 4, we have Gorilla Tag. This is probably the most popular VR game to release on the Quest headsets, and while it started its life as a demo on App Lab, its simple yet highly addictive gameplay got viral in no time. And if you somehow have missed it, in here, you embody a gorilla that is playing a big game of tag, and where it is up to the player to use your arms in a swinging motion while you climb for your life. And what made it even more popular is that it is of course completely free. But if you want to test out some other features of your headset, then number 5, Elixir, might be the right one for you, because this unique game is completely played using the hand tracking feature. That means you'll have to ditch your controllers and use your fingers instead to react with the world around you. But it is exactly those interactions with your hands that make this experience so amazing, because while you are inside a magical laboratory, you'll be casting spells and creating potions while turning your hands in complete tentacles. And although its original goal was to show off the hand tracking technology of the headset, it is still a great game that you don't want to miss. And that also goes for number 6, which is Gravity League. The best way to describe this one is that it is a Tron-like game combined with air hockey and baseball, where you will be going head to head against your opponent, where your reaction speed is the key to victory. And with loads of customization options, this is an absolute blast, while at the same time being a highly competitive title. So if futuristic esports is your thing, then you know where to find it. And on number 7, we have PokerStars Vegas Infinite. After all those high intensity games, you can sit back and play some casino games, from blackjack to roulette, as well as slot machines, and of course, poker itself. And luckily, you don't have to worry about losing your life savings here. Instead, you can challenge your friends or just play against other people across the globe, while also having endless possibilities of interactive props, as well as a giant collection of accessories, which sometimes are even better than the card games themselves. But a more unique game is number 8, named Spatial Ops, because this one is in mixed reality. That means that you will be using the outside cameras of your headset while looking at your real world environment. With thanks to these projections, you will be inside a 4v4 arena, where you can battle it out in a shooting range with your other Quest-owning buddies, probably best compared to laser tag in real life. Do keep in mind that you have to disable your Quest Guardian system so that you don't forget to put that back on afterwards, instead of running straight against the wall. And on number 9, we have Blast On. This was once also a paid game, but is now completely free to play, letting you take on your friends and families in the head-on 1v1 dueling, where you'll be dodging and shooting bullets at the same time, making you honestly feel like you're part of the Matrix itself, although this game can get quite difficult quickly. But on number 10, we have VR Chat. This game should almost not need an introduction, where it has thousands and thousands of worlds to explore that are completely made by the community, and you can even create your own, as well as your avatars, and experience it with others all together. Not only did it have a huge impact on VR, that even got Meta to create their own version called Horizon Worlds, it also is the reason why so many people got a VR headset in the first place. So honestly, this is a must play for anyone in general. And if you've made it into this video so far, then giving a punch on that like button button would be highly appreciated. Getting us to number 11. I Expect You to Die, Home Sweet Home. This is from the same minds that brought the original series to virtual reality, but this instead is a short mixed reality mini version that lets you become a secret agent in your own living room. And if you're familiar with their other games, this is a must play if you enjoy escape rooms or puzzling games, with a bit of humor meshed into it. And number 12 is Gods of Gravity. This arcade-style game lets you become a celestial god, where you will have an epic showdown between 2 to 8 players that lets you open up wormholes to teleport them across solar systems or mine asteroids for its powerful resources, with the main purpose of conquering your enemy's home planet and being the last god standing. But this list wouldn't be complete, with number 13 being Roblox. It is Roblox that undeniably had a huge impact on gaming itself, and now that you can play it on your Quest headset makes it even better. And while the VR support is not entirely perfect, most main experiences on here are completely playable inside virtual reality. And with many being added to it every single day, it is also that developers are creating their new experiences with compatibility with your Quest 3 headset. But on the complete other side of the spectrum, we have number 14 being Kazuna AI Touch to the Beat. And this is a slightly more controversial VR rhythm game. While you hit the notes that come flying towards you, you are also looking at the Kazuna's AI performance. But this also directly shows that it isn't for everybody. But hey, it's a free title. On 15, we got Gun Raiders. While similar to other multiplayer shooters, this will also let you jetpack to the air while you shoot down your competition. But what fans like about this most is that it is not pay to win, meaning all the microtransactions that are happening inside the game are mainly for cosmetics like avatar skins. So when you download it, you can just start playing with all the results depending completely on your own skills. And talking about skills is number 16 called Bait. This game has been out for quite a long time, but it is still a highly enjoyable fishing experience that you just can't get anywhere else. This classic VR title has also got multiple releases that added in things like multiplayer as well as a complete new overhaul of its graphics. And the additional social areas also let you sit back between your fishing adventures to take part in some casual minigames. So not only is this great for hardcore fishing enthusiasts, it is also a great way to relax and crack open a cold one with the boys. Number 17, Mission ISS. While being one of the more serious titles on this list, Mission ISS takes you on a trip into orbit where you will learn about the life on board of the International Space Station, where you will even experience how you can dock a space capsule as well as take your own walk into zero gravity. And this is all done through informative videos and images that you will receive from a real NASA astronaut. And not only does it look amazing, you will also learn something in the process. Number 18, Rec Room. This is probably one of the first games that anyone should play on their Quest headset because it is loaded with unique content at absolutely no cost, where players can hang out in spaces that they design that go from simple rooms to relax to absolutely full-blown multiplayer games like paintball or sword fighting. And because it is cross-platform, you can also play it with PC users that don't even have a VR headset. Besides, the creators also made some main worlds, so you don't just have to visit the creation of other people. And honestly, giving you a very chill and comfortable experience to get into virtual reality. Number 19, we have another casino game called Poker VR. But like the title itself, this one's main focus is just on poker. But with full hand tracking support and physics-based gameplay, it still makes it an amazing game. You can even try to perform some trick shots with your chips. And number 20 is Ancient Dungeon. And no, this is not a Minecraft mod. This is an actual VR game that takes some high inspiration from this popular title, but where instead its main focus is on the dungeon crawling aspect. And with plenty of enemies just asking for your sword and arrows, you will soon find yourself climbing deep into these pits. And a little tip, make sure you smash all the pots and crates to get as much loot as possible. And number 21 is Liminal. This one is perfect after you had some hardcore VR sessions or just a rough day in general, where it will let you relax and unwind in 6 categories of different emotional states. And while it is quite hard to describe, it is just something you have to try out and experience for yourself. And that gets us to 22, being Highbow. If you always wanted a battle royale, but where you would have to fight with bows and arrows, like Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games, then this is the game for you. Now, although the graphics might not be something to write home about, it is an ultra smooth VR simulation of arrow shooting on the battlefield. where you can choose your own hero and add different skills and traits depending on the strategy that you have. And on 23, we have cards and tankards. This is for all those Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon card lovers out there, since cards and tankards brings you a pretty addictive social collectible card game, and seeing it come to life in virtual reality together with its medieval fantasy tavern setting, it just gives it that extra edge. And 24 is Blacktop Hoops, yet another great basketball VR sports game, but in this case feels much more realistic, letting you dribble and shoot just like you would in real life. And the game features allow you to have a bunch of different modes against both bots as well as multiplayer or even half-court and full-court games. But that's not all, because on 25 we have Half plus Half. This is another very chill title that has some special things to it, where you will swim to the ocean or glide through the clouds or play a game of hide and seek, even with complete strangers. But the difference is that the communication system is turned into complete nonsense. That means no matter what you say, the other person will only hear some funny sounds coming from your mouth. So you don't have to worry about people screaming inside this relaxing VR title. And 26 is Epic Roller Coaster. This one you actually don't even have to download at all, because most of the time it comes included onto your Quest headset directly, creating a great experience for people that are completely new to virtual reality, giving you a handful of roller coasters, with each track being roughly 3 to 5 minutes long. And they all have their own unique environments and events that break up the momentum of just sitting in a cart while looking at everything. And it also includes a shooting game that comes with each single track. But most of all, it is especially funny to see your body react while you're riding on this virtual roller coaster. 27, The Under. While other games are easy to describe, The Under is just very different, because this otherworldly multiplayer experience has a bit of everything. And where the free version gives you a rough 30 minutes of single player mysteries, it lets you do a whole lot of different things that, without spoiling the story too much, can be best just experienced firsthand. And even the art style can change completely from one moment to the other. And 28 is Maestro, the Masterclass. While you might not think it at first, this is an amazing game that you have to play, because you will step up to a podium and become a true orchestra conductor yourself. Again, being capable of completely ditching your controllers so that you can play hands-free in an epic concert. And while personally, I wasn't expecting anything from this game at all, I was pleasantly surprised about how well this was made. And on 29, we have Ultimax. This can also be called the Rocket League of virtual reality, but instead of driving cars, you are given rocket power fist to punch the ball into the goal. And as you might know, these kind of games are far from easy. While the concept just looks so simple, it is the exact timing and angles that are super important. You can play this in multiplayer against just one other friend or in 2v2 matches, and with all its upgrades being purely for cosmetics. But luckily, even without spending any money, you can also earn them yourself if you're good enough at this game. And number 30 is Pavlov Shack. If you ever wanted to play Counter-Strike on your Quest 3, then Pavlov Shack offers a pretty comparable experience. And it's got some highly realistic gunplay that makes it a big recommendation for those hardcore VR gamers. Do keep in mind that it has a paid PC VR version, and luckily also has a free open beta for your Quest headsets. But there are so many more must-play VR games, so make sure you click on the video that you see on screen right now to make sure that you don't miss out.